The Florida Department of Transportation, or FDOT, welcomes you to the Alternatives Public Meeting for the State Road 31 Project Development and Environment, or PD&E Study. We appreciate your attendance and participation. The purpose of this PD&E study is to evaluate engineering and environmental data and document information that will aid FDOT District 1 and the FDOT Office of Environmental Management in determining the type, preliminary design, and location of the proposed improvements. The PD&E study is part of the transportation project development process and includes environmental review and compliance with federal and state laws and regulations so that a project can advance into final design, right-of-way, and construction. The project is in northeastern Lee County. The study begins at State Road 80, or Palm Beach Boulevard, and extends approximately 1.4 miles north to State Road 78, or Bayshore Road. The project includes replacing the Wilson-Piggott Bridge over the Calasuhatchee River and improvements to the State Road 31, State Road 80 intersection. The project purpose is to address capacity and transportation demand in the project study area, address substandard elements of the Wilson-Piggott Bridge, enhance linkage and regional connectivity in the area-wide transportation network, and enhance safety for hurricane evacuation and response times. The need for the proposed improvements for State Road 31 is predicated on existing and projected conditions, including the tremendous growth projected for Lee County. Current traffic volumes of 15,900 vehicles per day are predicted to increase to volumes that would approach or exceed the typical maximum volumes for a two-lane arterial, resulting in increased congestion in the future. Due to its proximity to Interstate 75 and other destinations, the area is transitioning from agricultural and rural uses to suburban, including Babcock Ranch. Retail and commercial market activity has followed the area's residential growth. The area continues to experience substantial growth, which will further increase traffic and strain the corridor's capacity, resulting in more congestion and poor level of service, including at the State Road 31, State Road 80 intersection. In addition to the traffic growth, State Road 31 currently does not provide accommodations for pedestrians and bicyclists. Improving the capacity of the roadway and maintaining the functionality of the bridge is important due to other special designations and functions. State Road 31 is a designated highway corridor of Florida's Emerging Strategic Intermodal System, SIS, and a Tier 1 freight corridor of Lee County, with about 25% of existing traffic along the roadway composed of trucks. SIS facilities are those that are critical for regional and statewide movement of people and goods. The Wilson-Piggott Bridge was constructed in 1960 with a 50-year service life. Major rehabilitations were completed for the bridge since it was built. The bridge has a low sufficiency rating, which is a rating of a bridge's fitness to remain in service. The bridge also experiences frequent mechanical malfunctions, leaving the bascule span in the up position, which disrupts traffic flow and circulation in the area. The bridge also has substandard design elements. Among other things, the bridge has narrow travel lanes and shoulders and does not adequately accommodate non-vehicular travelers, such as pedestrians and bicyclists. The bridge does not meet current U.S. Coast Guard standards for horizontal clearance. Movable bridges present maintenance costs. State Road 31 is used to access services and activity centers within and around the project study area. And these growing activity centers have become notable traffic generators for commuters. Capacity and operational improvements within the project study area would enhance regional connectivity, would allow State Road 31 to function as a regional corridor, and provide a viable north-south alternate route to Interstate 75. State Road 31 plays a critical role in facilitating traffic during emergency evacuation periods as one of the 7 crossings over the Caloosahatchee River within Lee County. Improving the capacity and operations of the corridor, including the bridge, will enhance emergency evacuation efforts and lead to improved evacuation and response times. Within the project limits, State Road 31 is a 2-lane roadway with 12-foot lanes and 4 to 8-foot paved shoulders. Stormwater runoff is collected in roadside ditches, with ultimate discharge to the Caloosahatchee River. The posted speed limit is 40 miles per hour. To address traffic growth, FDOT is proposing to widen the existing roadway. The proposed improvement would consist of widening the 2-lane roadway to 6 lanes and, as shown in the proposed typical section, includes 3 11-foot lanes in each direction, curb and gutter, a 22-foot raised median, and 12-foot shared use paths on both sides to accommodate pedestrians and bicyclists. The project would require the acquisition of additional right-of-way for roadway improvements and drainage. The proposed posted speed limit is 45 miles per hour. The Wilson Pickett Bridge currently has 2 10-foot lanes, 4-foot shoulders, and 3.5-foot sidewalks on both sides with no separation for motor vehicles. The existing vertical clearance over the channel is 21 feet. FDOT is evaluating 2 options for the Wilson Pickett Bridge replacement. Alternatives 1A and 1B include a high-level fixed bridge option. This option would have 3 11-foot lanes in each direction, and 8-foot shoulders and 12-foot shared use path on each side. Pedestrians and bicyclists would be protected via a raised barrier and railing. This type of bridge would be 34 feet higher than the current bridge and would not disrupt traffic. As shown in the rendering and indicated with a purple line, the minimum vertical clearance over the channel for this bridge alternative is 55 feet. Alternatives 2A and 2B include a movable bridge option. This option has the same typical section for the travel lane and shoulders as the fixed bridge alternative, but includes a 10-foot raised median outside of the movable portion of the bridge. As with Alternative 1, pedestrians and bicyclists would be protected via a raised barrier and railing. As with today's bridge, this bridge would pause traffic movement over the bridge to allow border passage. As shown in the rendering and indicated with an orange line, the minimum vertical clearance over the channel for this bridge alternative is 27 feet, which is 6 feet higher than the existing bridge. FDOT is also evaluating 2 configuration options for the State Road 31 and State Road 80 intersection. The development of these followed the Intersection Control Evaluation, or ICE process, which evaluates alternatives based on operations, safety, cost, and social, environmental, and economic impacts. The first option, shown on the left, is an at-grade conventional signalized intersection. The second option, shown on the right, is the flyover option. The add-grade conventional signalized intersection option on the left is enlarged on this slide. As shown here in more detail, the conventional intersection would require the addition of multiple turn lanes to handle heavy turning movements to and from State Road 31 and State Road 80. The flyover option is illustrated on the next slide. As shown in more detail here, the Great Separation Flyover alternative would introduce two new flyover bridges for State Road 31 and State Road 80 movements. Southbound State Road 31 travelers, such as those coming from Lee Civic Center or Babcock Ranch, who want to go eastbound on State Road 80, would use the flyover bridge. These travelers coming from the north will cross over at the proposed signal on State Road 31. Similarly, eastbound State Road 80 travelers, including those coming from Fort Myers who want to go northbound on State Road 31, would use the flyover bridge. These travelers will cross over at the proposed signal on State Road 31. Throughout this study, a no-build alternative is also considered. The no-build alternative assumes that no improvements are made to State Road 31 through the year 2045, except routine maintenance. This PD&E study is ongoing. Project team members will continue to develop, refine, and evaluate alignment alternatives for State Road 31 throughout the remainder of the study. Potential environmental effects associated with the proposed build alternatives are under careful evaluation and include detailed studies of sociocultural, wetlands, floodplains, protected species and habitat, water quality, contamination sites, recreational sites, noise, air quality, historic structures, and archaeological sites. Based on data and studies conducted to date, FDOT does not anticipate significant effects associated with these proposed build alternatives. The evaluation matrix included in your handout shows a summary of results of preliminary analysis for the build and no-build alternatives. This matrix is also on display this evening. The purpose of this alternatives public meeting is to provide you the opportunity to ask questions and offer comments about the proposed alternatives under consideration. FDOT is also asking local governments and regulatory agencies to provide comments about the project. Detailed mapping of the roadway improvement and bridge and intersection alternatives are provided. Please view the display boards, ask questions, and provide feedback. Your comments will help the department make its selection of the preferred alternative. There are multiple ways to provide comments on the project. We encourage you to complete the comment form in your handout and drop it in one of the boxes provided. Or, if you prefer, you may mail your comments postmarked by February 17, 2023, to the address on the comment form. You may also submit comments through the project website using the website address listed in your handout, or email the project manager. The project team will consider all comments and, where feasible, will incorporate them into the development of the preferred alternative. FDOT will present the preferred alternative at an upcoming formal public hearing for this project, tentatively planned for the fall of 2023. At the end of this study and after the formal public hearing, FDOT will finalize the preferred alternative for State Road 31. We will mail project newsletters to keep you informed about the study's progress. If you would like to receive future newsletters and you are not on our mailing list, please fill out the comment form in your handout. You may also visit the project website at the address in your handout for the latest study information, schedule, and upcoming events. The department anticipates completion of this PD&E study by March 2024, when the FDOT Office of Environmental Management accepts the location and design concept of the preferred alternative. Preliminary design is underway and is part of this PD&E study. The right-of-way phase is funded. Construction is not funded at this time. Again, the State Road Study team is here tonight to answer your questions and discuss the project. We invite you to speak with them and to review the aerial maps, plans, and illustrations on display. This PD&E study is being conducted and completed according to the requirements of the National Environmental Policy Act and other related federal and state laws, rules, and regulations, which will qualify future phases of this project for federal funding. For additional information and all rules and regulations this meeting follows, please see the Federal and State Requirements Board. Thank you for your interest in the proposed State Road 31 improvements and for taking time to participate in this meeting. We look forward to your comments and to your continued involvement in this important PD&E study. And finally, an FDOT safety moment. FDOT thanks you for making safety a continued priority.